Hi guys, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I'm doing another collection video, and because this is a series of videos on my channel where I am popping in to do an intro and an outro and plugging that intro and outro onto every single one of the collection videos that I have, I cannot tell you which one it is, but the title and the thumbnail should have told you which one it is, and I hope that you're here for it. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high-end colorful beauty and self-care. I also work as a field business leader for Ulta Beauty, so I get a lot of education in my position, like to bring you that education. But ultimately, I'm just out here talking about makeup because I like to talk about makeup, and I'm sure that you do too, or you wouldn't be here. I'm hoping at the end of the day we can be friends and you'll want to subscribe before you go. Let's roll into this collection video and I will see you at the end. These are my single eye products. So single shadows, potted shadows, liquid shadows, and sticks, eye crayons, whatever. I am really not sure how many is here because each one of these sections is a different section in my inventory. So like eye sticks, liquid eyeshadows, glitters, and pigments, they're a different section. We're going to do it as much as it makes sense. But I'm going to start with the single, or with the eyeshadow sticks, because that makes the most sense to me. We're just going to move these things. We're going to drop these out. There's exactly 21 of these guys. So we're going to go through these first. I'm going to start with these two. I do have two NYX jumbo eye pencils, one in milk and one in cobalt. You can see the cobalt one is in blue. I think I've used it one time. I don't love that there's little glitters in it, and I don't love that it kind of shears away. I am not going to swatch everything for you guys because these like to hang on for dear life, and because they're the first thing that I'm going through, I don't want them like just stuck to my skin. But I am going to get rid of the cobalt jumbo eye pencil. As I said, it does have like silver glitters in it, and it kind of shears away, unlike this one. This one I use as a white base to all of my like crazy colorful eye looks because it just does such a really great job. It doesn't shear away. It's such a remarkable eyeshadow stick. So I am going to keep that one and get rid of the cobalt one. So these are all my minis. I do have two from LOC. They are in Champagne Problems and Heavy Petal. These are eyeshadow sticks that came to me, and I think a FabFitFun or an Ipsy, one or the other. They look very similar in tone, but one of them is a little bit more pink and the other one is a little bit more like golden. They are beautiful, but they are in my plan to pan for 2024. I do want to see these leave my collection this year. They are some of the oldest shadow sticks that I have in my collection, so I do think they probably need to go, but they're still really super creamy. Then I have these two from Bobbi Brown. I have the Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow Sticks in the shade Vanilla and the shade Dusty Mauve. Vanilla is a really good, like, just neutral tone eyeshadow stick for me. Like, it's a great, like, primer for me. It is my shade of skin, my tone of skin, so it works really well for me. And then the Dusty Mauve one is a little bit more of a like a taupey mauvey like shimmery color, so it is just truly a beautiful eyeshadow stick. I will be keeping both of those. And then from the Bobbi Brown line, I actually have three other ones. So I have taupe, I have golden pink, and I have golden bronze. So these two look very similar, but taupe is a matte, like gray brown, and golden bronze is a bronzy shimmer. Really beautiful in tones. That one is taupe. It is, like I said, kind of a gray brown. It would actually be a really good contour stick. And then this one is golden bronze, which is a bronzy, like metallic shadow stick, and they literally go absolutely nowhere. These don't have like a sharpener on them, but I don't find that that is something that I need with these sticks, to be honest. This one is in golden pink, and it is just that. It is a kind of like a rose gold color of shimmer shadow stick. I got these 5 in gratis last year at FLC. And I don't foresee me getting rid of any of them, but these 2 are matte, and I have like a Tenacious Tawny and I have Mighty Mauve. So Tenacious Tawny is like a red brown shade, and then Mighty Mauve is a kind of gray toned purple. Not quite like contour-y color, but a really beautiful gray toned purple. These are beautiful, and I would say that of the ones that last forever, probably the It Superhero No Tug don't last quite as well as like the Bobbi Brown ones, or frankly any of the other ones here, but they are beautiful and super creamy. I think that's part of the reason why they don't last as long. This one is in the shade Bold Bubbly. It's like a champagne-y shade, and it's got a little bit of sparkle to it without being glittery. This one is in Bionic Bronze, and it is a really pretty, like, just copper tone without glitter. And then this one is in the shade Galactic Gold, and it's kind of like this like olivey gold color. Really, really beautiful. This one does have a little bit of glittery effect to it. I do have these 2 by Beauty For Real, and this one is in the shade Ever Starstruck, and this one is in the shade Midnight Marathon. These do have a sharpener at the bottom of them. I don't use the sharpeners, to be honest. I don't think these ones have a sharpener. Yeah, these ones are just like, they're just not a sharpener. So I don't know exactly why these come off of these, but whatever. This one is the one in Ever Starstruck. It is a beautiful like champagne-y pink. And then this one is in the shade Midnight Marathon, and it is a beautiful like almost antique bronze. These ones stay quite well on the eyes. I have this one from Benefit, and this one I put into my eye crayon drawer because I use it more as like an inner corner or a brow highlighter, and that is also what I use my shadow sticks for. It doesn't make any sense for this to be in my brow category though. So this is a really pretty like champagne-y pink shade as well. This is by Thrive Cosmetics, and it is the Brilliant Eye Brightener in the shade Stella. Just another, you know, I think this one is a little bit more taupey, like almost this color, white taupey gold. And I really, really love it for eye brightening. And then I've got 2 from Charlotte Tilbury that I got in my Beautylish Lucky Bag last year. I have it in Smoky Pillow Talk and Pillow Talk. So one is a little bit more of like a deep red pinky brown, and the other one is of course in the pinky like shimmery like Pillow Talky color. One is a matte and one is a shimmer. I haven't tried these, so I can't really speak to them. And then I have this one by Milani that I do believe I got in gratis last year at conference. This is the Gilded Eyeshadow Stick in the shade Moss. And I kept it around because I really love green. It's one of my favorite colors. But I do think that because this is still sealed and I haven't used it yet, I am going to also declutter that. So out of 21 eye pencils, we are decluttering 2, so we are left with 19, and we're going to call that good. Now we're going to move into these, and, you know, I'm going to start with my liquids. I have 24, I do believe. I do believe I've counted them right. I do put these in the liquid section as well because they're quite a bit more creamy than like the Super Shock shadows are, but I'll just leave them in here because that makes sense. So I have my liquids here. I have Sydney Grace are the ones in these like little tubes here. These are fantastic. They are literally no budge, go nowhere cream eyeshadows that don't cause any kind of texture on your lids and really don't cause any kind of creasing or anything like that. I do have 3 different shades. So I have Lily, Boardwalk, and Stolen Kiss. And these came in my Sydney Grace Christmas and July like mystery bags. And like I had some of these in the past and didn't end up keeping them because they were like 5 years old and they just didn't work like Sydney Grace shadows had in the past. So I have Lily, Stolen Kiss, and Boardwalk in the Sydney Grace shadows here. I mean, I do think that there is an incredible amount of difference between these two. Otherwise, I wouldn't keep them both. But this one has got like these really beautiful like red shimmers throughout it. And this one is just a plain like kind of coppery. So this one looks a little bit more like peachy or like red almost in tone. This one has beautiful like blue shimmers all throughout it. So I don't know if you guys can see that in the swatches, but they are really, really pretty. They don't exacerbate any kind of texture, and I just really do like them a lot. The last ones I did use them quite significantly and then ended up getting rid of them because they were about 5 years old and didn't really act the part anymore in my collection. You could definitely tell a difference with the formula change, but I do think that I will hold on to these ones. I also have my Stila Glitter and Glow in the shade Oasis. This is just a really beautiful, like coppery glitter and glow, and I really truly do love it. It's got like pink sparkles and blue sparkles, and it's just really, really intense and also reflective on an eye in an eye look. We'll also hold on to that guy. This one is by Ofra, and this one is in the shade Penthouse. It is a really pretty like taupey shadow. It's so pretty, and I can't fathom not having that in my life. This one by Ciate, this is a eye luster by Ciate, and you know, I've thought about getting rid of this so many times, but you guys, I mean, it is white and gold and green and pink reflective. It's just so pretty. I just need to figure out how to wear it because I think I've worn it all of like maybe twice. This is new to me. This is Lancome. This is one of their eye blushers in the shade 05. I don't know what 05 is, but I do know that I saw this on the eyeballs of one of my Lancome beauty advisors and could not. It is so pretty, and it's got really reflective like pink and gold glitters in there that is just so pretty. So I had to add that to my liquid eyeshadow collection. I don't see any of these going actually now that I'm looking at them. I have all these color fluids from About Face. Each one of them is the same color as the component, so I'm not going to open them up and show you, but I do have this one. These are all matte, and this one is in the shade Dionysus, I don't know. This one is in Vintage Granada. These don't have colors on them, so we're going to say yellow, red, light blue, cobalt blue, and chartreuse. These are fantastic. I also have used those as mascaras because I love a colored mascara. I use them on this brush, and I will paint the end of this brush, and then I will paint my lashes with this brush, and they do a really, really great job of also being a mascara. So then I also have these guys here, and these are all by Natasha Denona. These are Cover FX, and these are Danessa Myricks. So first and foremost, these are the Danessa Myricks Twin Flames. So I do have True Love and Sweetheart. And True Love is like the blue, purple, like, can you guys see that? Blue, purple, green. And I don't know if you guys can see the flip there, but I'm looking at it and it is purple, and you're looking at it and it is green. And then this one is yellow, green, blue. And like I said, you're looking at it and it is turquoise. I'm looking at it and it is green. It flips to yellow, green, blue, red. Like I can't get rid of these because I use them so dang often. These ones are really old to my collection. If I was to get rid of any, they would be these. But like when I pull them out, and I used this one so much. This is a Cover FX Shimmer Veil in the shade Amethyst. They kind of are smelly. Maybe I should get rid of these. This one is kind of dried. So Amethyst, Moonstone, and Celestial. I am going to get rid of these three because they are so old and they do smell. And this one specifically it feels like it's quite a bit more dry. So we're going to get rid of those. These are all from Natasha Denona. These ones are her Chroma Crystal Liquid Eyeshadows. And I do have Sienna, which is the deeper one, and Moonstone, which is the lighter one. These ones I know are fine because I just used them not that long ago. Sienna has this beautiful, like almost multi-chromatic, like red to orange to like green look to it. And then Moonstone is just a really pretty golden, like champagne-y gold shadow. So really love those two. I have two of her minis in the Chroma Crystal Liquid Eyeshadows, right? But the black is Space and the silver is called Disco. These are so beautiful. I mean, truly beautiful. I really, really think that the black one looks a lot like the Marc Jacobs Sequins, only in a liquid eyeshadow form. So really, really pretty. I can't get rid of those either. And then this one is one of her Chromium Liquid Eyeshadows in Infranude. This one is one of the multi-tone ones. I just used this one the other day. It reminds me though a lot of this one, to be honest, but a lot more shifty. So you guys are seeing it pink. It looks very green to me, but it has like a green, gold, red flip to it. So reminds me a lot of this, but more red flippy than golden flippy. All right, so getting rid of 3, keeping the rest. 21 liquid shadows left. I think we can like put these back in here too. Like I will tell you, these aren't going anywhere. These are the KVD like Dazzle Sticks. They're long wear cream eyeshadow. Listen, I won't get rid of any of these. You could pull them out of my cold dead hands. They are so pretty. This one is in the shade Heat Burst. This one is in the shade Electrobolts. This one is in the shade Ash Storm, and it is a really pretty like silvery lavender. And then this one is in the shade Green Flash, really pretty emerald. I love these so much. Again, a cream shadow that goes nowhere. Just so, so pretty. And then I do have all of these singles here that are potted singles. These are all like ColourPop, and then some like off-brand, like wants to be the same thing. I have this Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 4 First Look. This is one of her pressed chrome flake shadows, and it is the Paradise shadow. This was a friend mail from one of you guys, and I just really appreciate, you know who you are. for sending this to me. This gets so much action in my collection, so I will be holding on to that. This is by Shanta Kai. This is the Sunbeam Cheek and Eye Shade in the shade Ray. And I recently moved this out of my bronzers into my eyeshadows. We're going to try it as an eyeshadow. It doesn't work for me as a bronzer. Again, with the looks more like a highlighter than it does a bronzer kind of aspect that I have going on for all of my cheek products. I want a highlighter to be a highlighter, a bronzer to be a bronzer. Like, I'm okay with glowy bronzers, glowy blushes, but they cannot look like they should be a highlighter. This definitely looks like it should be a highlighter, but it would serve well in the eyeshadow category. So I did move it recently out of my bronzers into my eyeshadows, and I haven't tried it as that yet, but I do think it'll be fine. I have these two from Illamasqua. These are their Color Boss single shadows. I have this one in the shade Jackpot. Such a beautiful, deep, pigmented green. And then this one is in the shade Newsflash, and it is a beautiful, like, red tone copper. I mean, just really, really beautiful eyeshadows and super, super pigmented. I have, let's go with this one. This is by NARS. And this is just a single shadow in the shade Phoebe, and I saw it at TJ Maxx and had to have it. It's just a really beautiful, like, metallic purple. I also have this Kaja bento box. This is number 4 in Sparkling Rose, and it has 3 different eyeshadows in it. Of course, we all know what the bento boxes look like. This one is like the deeper metallic, and then we have like a rosy metallic, and then we have a like kind of a peachy coppery metallic. These are all metallics. So I do keep them in here. I have this by Melt. This was part of their Nightmare Before Christmas collection, and I did pick this up. This is called Making Christmas, and it is actually a glitter, and oh my god, it is so pretty. Yep, it's dry. It's dry. I will try and put some Duraline in it to see if I can revive it, but that is, like, sadly dry as a bone. I don't know why, but we are going to get rid of that because it's dry as a bone, which is very sad because I don't think I even got to use it, and I was so excited about it. I have these two by Space Case. This is Alien Love Child, and this one is Intense Stargasm, and they are kind of like knockoff Super Shocks. They're not quite as bouncy as a Super Shock, but this one is definitely like a purpley, like galactic purpley, pinky, almost like hollow look to it. And then this one, Intense Stargasm, is definitely kind of like a lavender, a taupey lavender color. Really quite beautiful. Like I said, not nearly as bouncy as the Super Shocks, but I really do like them, and they really do have this like element of like uniqueness to my collection. This came to me in gratis last year. This is the ColourPop Super Shock in Fine Pearl. You can see I haven't even used it. I don't typically use these kind of colors on my eyes. I don't have the box anymore, so it's like, do you get rid of it or do you keep it? I think I'm gonna keep it. It is a pretty color of like coppery gold. I think this one looks kind of similar to it. This is in the shade Lala. I've had these forever. They kind of don't, I would say this one is really dried out, but I mean, it still performs pretty decently, but you can definitely tell it's a lot more dry than it used to be. This one is in the shade Porter. This one was one of my favorites way back when as well. You can see there's no imprint on it anymore. Still bouncy than this one, but oh, so pretty. I love a really nice brick red on my eyes. This one is in the shade Cricket. Now this one was drying up pretty significantly last year. It does look a little bit crumbly in there, you know, but it is decently moisture rich, so I think I'll keep that. I think I'm gonna keep all of them, to be honest. This one is in Ladybird, a really pretty like champagne color. This one is my ColourPop Super Shock that I made at FLC last year. It's got a little bit of green, blue, pink, silver in it, and I call it cotton candy because it reminds me of cotton candy. It's a beautiful topper. It's not necessarily got a lot of pigment to it. This one is in Ripple, and this one is so pretty, and it has a wee bit of a pan. Do you guys see that? Yes, pan. Okay. And this one does have quite a bit of moisture left to it. More of a topper, though, than it is anything else. And then this one, also kind of a topper. This one is in special delivery. It is a nice, like, minty, silvery green. This one is in the shade Donna. So, like, regardless, I will hold on to this one just because of the name of it. It is so pretty. Gorgeous. And then there's this one, Valley Girl, which is also really pretty. This is kind of like a golden white. And this one you can see the rungs in the pan, so I know that this one has gotten quite a bit of use and was one of my favorites for a very long time as well. So we are just going to pop those in there. And these like to stay on rather well. So like I am really scrubbing at my hands to get those off. So I got rid of one of the things that was in this section, 3 of the things that were in this section. Now I have pigments here. Now these are all like, you know, once I got started using pigments and realized like really how to use them, I couldn't let any more go, but I had like, I don't know, probably 20 of these ones from Bare Minerals that I let go because I did not love them way back in the day when I was trying them. This one is in Treasure Island, and it is just a really pretty like golden green. It reminds me a lot of actually of this shade here. It's, I mean, really pretty, and I love it as like an olive green. And then I have this one, which is in the shade 1990s. And this one is kind of like a blackened purple. So pretty. I have this one from MAC. This is in the shade Chartreuse. It is just a Chartreuse pigment. It is a rather full pigment, but I love using that as like an inner corner in a like a really pretty like blue eye look. It looks so beautiful. This one by Naked Cosmetics, it is in the shade Mother Nature. You guys saw me trying to pan this last year, and it was rather full, and I did a really darn good job with this last year. I used so much of it. I used it as an eyeshadow, but also as a nail polish. It's just really very pretty. I have these 2 from Sydney Grace, one in Rhyme and one in Ripple. These get everywhere. Ripple is a really beautiful pinky tone, like blue to pink, like matte, but also shiny. It's so very strange because it looks definitely different than most of the other ones. Like most of the other ones are very like metallic-y looking. This one is a little bit more of like just a glitter, but it is gold. So really great topper. They literally do get everywhere. Can you guys see this? That is all glitter. This one is by Jelly Pong Pong. This is one of their Cosmic Light multifunction pigments. This is in the shade Pulsar. And I mean, it's blue, but also just kind of sheer, but also just so pretty. It has a little bit of like almost like a silveriness to it. So pretty. This one is by Lenny. This one is in the shade Byron Bay. And these next 2 look kind of similar to each other, but like this one is way more like peachy, whereas this one is Micha Mia Beige. And this one is a little bit more like almost golden or orange. Those are the world's worst swatches, but one has a little bit more peachy gold to it. and is a little bit more like just standard, and then one is a little bit more peachy. Does that make any sense? So those are all my pigments, and I know I swatched them all stupid like, but I won't be getting rid of any of my pigments. Then I have these guys. These are the Metal Crush eyeshadows by Kat Von D. This one is in Electric Warrior, really beautiful chartreuse. This one is in the shade Iggy, which is a beautiful, like, kind of like tealy aquamarine shade. This one is in Static Age, and it is liquid chrome. Not liquid, obviously. This one is in Raw Power, and it is a really pretty, like, rusty red tone. And then this one is in Thunderstruck, and it is a white that shifts gold. I mean, really beautiful, super pigmented. I would say don't wear these all over your eye because as an eyeshadow, they do exacerbate a lot of texture. This one, City Color Glow Pro Stellar in the shade Nebula. Listen, I have went back and forth with this one on whether I'm going to declutter it. I don't know how many times in a declutter, but let me just show you. It looks so crumbly and weird in the pan. This is what happens when you put it on your skin. Like I mean, I can't get rid of it. I can't get rid of it because every time I do and then I go to swatch it, I'm like, what the hell am I thinking? This is an Urban Decay Moon Dust shadow, and this is in the shade Solstice, and I like this one just as much because it has this crazy like red base, but like green, gold, wet reflect to it. It's just so beautiful. We have this one from Tarte. This is one of the Tarte metallic shadows in the shade Whiskey. I do think I'm going to get rid of this. It's just not a shadow that I can see me wearing. I don't see me wearing that. So we are going to get rid of that. We have this one from Mellow. This is one of their baked eyeshadows in the shade Olive. This is funny because this is like the one shade in here I said that it reminded me of. I mean, this is the exact duplicate of that shadow. So if I don't want to use the pigment, like I can just pull for this single shadow and it'll be fine. It's the same color. Literally, do you still need it? Yes. Yes, I need both of them. I want both of them. I need both of them. This one is the other Becca Light Chaser highlighter that I told you I had one in my eyeshadows. I just use this as an eyeshadow a lot more than I use it or have used it as a highlighter because it just makes such a beautiful eyeshadow, and that is what I have used it for. So it's got like this pinky, shifty, like silvery, like orange peachiness to it. And I use it all the time as an eyeshadow. This is in the Amethyst Flashes Geode shade of this highlighter. So I only got rid of one in that bucket. I have all of these glitters, and none of these are going anywhere. But I have the MAC Spellbinder shadows. These are straight up glitter. This one is in Swing on a Star, and it is like a black, like multi-shifting glitter that just looks so beautiful and suspends so naturally on an eye look that I cannot with it. And then I have this one, which is Stairs to the Stars, which goes over like any like red or orange look really pretty beautifully. It's got like pink and red shimmers in it that are just beautiful, and like I can't with the blanket look to these eyeshadows. They are so very cool. And then I also have the Marc Jacobs sequins. So I have one in Topaz Flash and one in Glam Noir. This Glam Noir one is the one that I said was like the Natasha Denona liquid eyeshadow, only in glitter eyeshadow form. Really beautiful. These are the kind of glitters that go on your eyes that you don't need like a glue for. They just literally stick to your eyeballs. Spend it in some kind of something, but this one has beautiful like gold and pink and red glitters in it, which is the Topaz one. I know that he's not been in business for a long time, but I still love those and don't find them to irritate my eyes at all. This one is a Ciate London marbled metal in the shade Wicked, and I know it looks kind of gross, but those silvers all around it are actually like silver glitters. This is a really beautiful like metallic purple glitter. And then this one by Tarte is one of their chrome paint pots in the shade Martini, which is kind of like this beautiful like olivey gold. So it looks very antique. This one is by Mellow, and this is their glitter chrome eyeshadow in the shade Champagne. It is kind of like this rosy champagne. This was their, like, I think, version of like the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize, and they did a really good job with duping them, in my humble opinion. And then this one is Lorac Lace. This is such a beautiful, broken, of course, shimmery, pigmenty glitter, and I can't make myself get rid of it because it actually works quite well, even though it is broken. Like, you can still get a decent amount of pigment off it, and it just looks so beautiful on an eye look. Okay, so out of the items that were in this bin, I didn't do super hot. I only got rid of 5. One of them because it's completely like not usable anymore, which is very, very sad. 4 going into the garbage, 1 going into like the clutter, but 5 items are being decluttered out of here. So then I have my single eyeshadows. Like, this is probably going to be a bigger project than this. So I think I might do single eyeshadows on a day when I can actually sit and swatch them all, because I want you guys to be able to see them. But like, I have all of my Cliona shadows in here. And then in this side of this palette, I have a bunch of different, like, Sydney Grace. I have some Ofra. I have some ColourPop. I think I have some ABH ones, but these are all the neutrals. And then of course this red and green down here. So these are all my neutrals except for like those 2. And then I also have the other side of this. I went through with you guys on my highlighters, and then I just have these 3 random green ones that don't fit anywhere else. And then I have in here more, but they're like my yellows and oranges and reds, and then I have my purples and blues, and then I have my blues and greens in this one. And they're all like, for the most part, Sydney Grace is what most of my single shadows are. So I really just want to be able to sit down and swatch with you. So maybe we'll do a single swatch party. Let me know if that sounds like it's something that you'd be interested in. I'd be really interested in doing that for you. But these are going to wait. I just didn't want you guys to wonder where all the like single eyeshadows that I have in my collection went to. So I wanted to make sure that I went over those with you. So that being said, all of the like single eye categories gone over in my, you know, as in terms of these things. And there's so much here, but I'm only getting rid of 7 items, and that's sad to me. But also, like, I'm not going to get rid of stuff just to get rid of it. And I do think that all of these things still perform rather well. The only reason why I'm getting rid of these is because I do think that they have expired. I'm getting rid of this because I just know I'm not going to wear it. And I'm getting rid of this because it's dried up. As sad as that is to me, I was really excited to use this, but I'm not paying another $40 for it to dry up in a matter of months. Like, I've literally only had this in my collection for about 5 months, and I've never opened it. So the fact that it dried up in 5 months without ever being opened, like, just makes me sick to my stomach. So that is what I have for you for single eyes. I will do the single eyeshadows when I have a day where I can swatch with you. So I'm going to roll you into outro. All right. So that is the end. How did I do? Listen, I'm doing this outro and the intro, aforementioned intro at the beginning, without even knowing what section that you got to see just now. So I did already film an inventory video that is just about the numbers in the spreadsheets and how I log everything. I will have that available to you in the cards, as well as my year of empties video, which talked about all the empties that I had last year. So you also get to see what exited my inventory. What do you think about my collection so far? I would be interested to hear from you down in the comment section. With that said, if you like collection videos, I'm doing a whole bunch more of them, I do think. If you're interested, don't forget to subscribe before you go, because there's a lot more content coming. And also, like, I've been on YouTube for a while. There's plenty of videos out there. I'm sure that you can find something that you enjoy. I just hope that you loved it. I hope that you want to subscribe before you go. I hope that we can be friends at the end of the day. And yeah, I'm super thankful that you were here today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you and yours are well. I hope that you are all safe and healthy and getting along as best you can. I hope that you are all loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye friends.